President Uhuru Kenyatta today chaired a high-level government meeting at Statehouse in Nairobi. That meeting was attended by cabinet ministers, chief administrative secretaries, and senior government officials at Statehouse in Nairobi. But one man was missing: William Samoei Ruto. William Ruto is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and the principal assistant to the president. Why was he missing? In this video, I want us to look at the possible reasons why William Samoei Ruto missed that meeting. But I can only speculate two reasons. Either he was not invited, or he was invited but opted not to attend the meeting. Let me take you through a statement which was issued by Statehouse after that particular meeting. The statement is dated 18th February. Statehouse spokesperson's office. It's saying, President Kenyatta meets government officers in senior ranks of executive. Senior rank. If you look at the government structure in Kenya, the highest level is the president, then followed by the deputy president, then the rest follows as per the executive. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta today at Statehouse, Nairobi, met officers in the senior rank of the executive to discuss government priorities for the current calendar year. Government priorities for the current calendar year. And the deputy president is missing. So basically, it simply tells you that President Uhuru Kenyatta has decided that in this current calendar year, William Samoei Ruto is not going to be part and parcel of his executive. Let me continue. The meeting brought together cabinet secretaries. Remember, as a deputy president, he's part of the cabinet, chief administrative secretaries, principal secretaries, amongst other matters, deliberate on the status of ongoing national government programs covering the Big Four agenda and Vision 2030 flagship programs. Remember, William Ruto has been on record severally claiming that the handshake interfered with the Big Four agenda and their priority as a government. Now the president is meeting these guys without his principal assistant. It's continuing. The president outlined to the officers his vision and priorities for this year, top amongst them the completion of ongoing government projects and programs across all sectors and regions of the country. Remember, through Executive Order Number 1 of 2019, President Uhuru Kenyatta made Fred Okengo Matiang'i the supervisor of all cabinet secretaries. Basically, what the president did, he took the functions which the deputy president was performing and handed them over to Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And in the past few days, senior government officials have been traversing the entire country, supervising the state of the development projects. Because in this country, the problem we have is that we had so many stalled projects. As at now, you can clearly see progress. You can see the stadiums which were promised progressing well. You can see roads being progressed. A lot of things are actually progressing. And is continuing. Further, the president instructed the officials to ensure prudent utilization of public resources in service delivery, saying Kenyans must always get the highest value return for their money. Again, the president is addressing one of the issues which has been the major problems in this country, and that is misuse of public resources. You can't believe that I was reading today that the Ministry of ICT, Communications, led by Cabinet Secretary Gisheru, cannot account, is it 17 billion? They can't account for it. And just like that. And nothing is really happening to them. So the president is addressing that. So he's concluding, the head of state urged the officers to embrace teamwork and unity of purpose so as to deliver the promise of a better Kenya and prosperous Kenya for all. So when you talk of unity of purpose, And the deputy president is missing in action. What is the president trying to tell these people? So in this video today, I want us to look at why the deputy president was missing from this particular meeting. Because again, if you've been following the politics of this country, you realize that last week, but one, William Ruto chaired another meeting, high-level government meeting, IBEC, the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council meeting. That meeting brought together cabinet secretaries, governors, and other senior government officials. And I remember opining on this platform that that meeting which the deputy president chaired was actually a bait. Because William Ruto has always tried so hard to dissociate himself from the government. But that last week, but one, he was there chairing a meeting. And after chairing that meeting, one of the resolutions was very simple, that the government was going to allocate more money to the counties this financial year. The deputy president has been decampaigning the BBI on the account that the government cannot even allocate 15% to the counties. But now he was here reading a statement that the government was going to allocate 37% to the counties. So he was baited. So when I read this statement by the Statehouse, I looked for the photos because again, the deputy president was not mentioned there. So I went through these photos and you can clearly see that President Uhuru Kenyatta was reading that statement. Was addressing one of the photos there. The president is addressing this meeting. The person sitting next to the president is actually Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Fred Matiang'i is basically the prefect of all cabinet ministers. Then the other side you can see, I think that's Kinyua, the head of public service, and then the rest seated there. The seat of the deputy president is not here, and I want to assume basically it's not here because from all these photos, the deputy president is not here. So why was the deputy president missing in this or from this meeting? In my opinion, 4 theories or 5. Number 1, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta is setting the agenda for 2021. If the president won't do anything in 2021, then there's nothing he's going to do in 2022. By January next year, this country will be in election mode. Senior government officials planning to contest shall have resigned. So the president has this year to at least leave a legacy, to at least achieve his agenda. And from all indications, the president is very clear that his deputy is working against his agenda. And because of that, he decided, now let me go with those who are willing. So the deputy president is missing because he's not part of or he's not supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta's agenda. So the president just wanted to set his agenda for 2021. And the deputy is not going to be part of that. Number 2, maybe he was not invited. In this government, you can't rule out anything. Because the last time the deputy president was invited to that COVID conference, he decided not to attend. So probably the president realized that there was no need of inviting the deputy president, or the handlers of the president realized that the purpose of that meeting, the presence of the deputy president, was not going to help it in any way. Remember, President Uhuru Kenyatta just the other day slammed his deputy for attacking or for criticizing the government, the same government he is serving. So if you are criticizing my government, that my government is not doing this, is not doing that, and I want to have a meeting with the senior officials in that government, then why should I invite you? So probably he was not invited. Number 3, which I think is also a possibility, is that this guy was invited. The deputy president was invited to this meeting, but he decided not to attend. The deputy president has been very keen on trying to dissociate himself from Jubilee government, because the blames in this country, people are very bitter and very angry with Jubilee government. He's been trying to evade or to avoid being seen with Jubilee. Remember the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, the other day had to challenge the deputy president over his role in government. And the deputy president then tried to challenge Raila Odinga. So now this was an opportunity for the deputy president to attend this meeting. I think he was invited, but because he's keen on dissociating himself from the government, he didn't want to attend, because attending would mean Kenyans were going to put him to task. That is normally part of these discussions, part of the deliberations. Then when he goes outside there, then he again attacks the same government. Number 4, I think it has to do with President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. Uhuru Kenyatta wants to achieve certain things before he retires. William Ruto is focusing on his 2022 general election. Then how do you marry these things? Simple. Uhuru has decided that I want to focus on my legacy beyond 2022. And how do I do that? I do that by ensuring that whatever we promised Kenyans, which we can do, we can do. The economy is doing badly today. So probably the president wants to sort out the issue of the economy. Let me just go back to some of this. It's saying the meeting brought together cabinet secretaries, chief administrative secretaries, principal secretaries, among others, deliberate on the status of ongoing national government programs covering Big Four agenda and Vision 2030 flagship projects. So basically, Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on, if he will not achieve all of them, but is keen on some of these legacy projects, what is calling the Vision 2030 flagship projects, the projects which Kenyans will remember him with. And lastly, I think William Ruto also could not attend this meeting because he knew the agenda. And those agenda revolved around Fred Okengo Matiang'i. If you look at the sitting arrangement, Fred Matiang'i was seated up there. Why? Because he's the guy who was assigned the task of following up on these government projects, coordinating them, supervising them, and doing everything. So it means even if the deputy president was there, then he was going to listen to Fred Matiang'i, probably explaining to the president the progress which they have made as a government as far as some of these projects are concerned. And because the deputy president was performing some of these tasks before, and the president decided to allocate those tasks to Fred Matiang'i, probably up to now he has not accepted that fact, that Fred Matiang'i is now the supervisor. So he decided, I'm not coming. I don't know what you think. I want to hear from you. Why do you think the Deputy President William Ruto decided not to attend this particular meeting? Let me read your comments before I go to the gym. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.